Wonderful viewers, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're delving into some intriguing expressions from the Power English radio show. So, without further ado, let's jump right in. Our first expression is, get out of one's head. This means making an effort to stop overthinking or dwelling on problems. It's about breaking free from excessive self-reflection. For instance, you need to get out of your head for a while or you'll never get over the breakup. She couldn't sleep because she couldn't get out of her head about the upcoming presentation. Sometimes it's essential to get out of your head and trust your instincts. Moving on to our second expression, self-care. This term refers to intentional actions taken to maintain one's well-being, both physically and mentally. What is your self-care routine? After a hectic week at work, she dedicated Sunday to self-care, indulging in a relaxing bath and reading a good book. Well, I give myself a facial every Saturday, and I go to a yoga class every morning. Now, let's explore. Backfire on someone something. This happens when a plan or action doesn't work as expected, resulting in a negative outcome. The plan to get re-elected backfired, and he ended up in jail instead. Trying to teach him a lesson by embarrassing him in front of others completely backfired on her, damaging their relationship. The decision to cut costs by reducing staff backfired when the remaining employees became overwhelmed, and productivity declined. Lastly, let's talk about I suppose. It's a phrase expressing a moderate degree of certainty or likelihood. I suppose it's a shorter way to get there. I suppose he'll be at the party, but I'm not entirely sure. And there you have it, a glimpse into the fascinating expressions from Power English. Until next time, happy learning.
Everyone, I'm Kristen Cho.
And I'm Cameron Word.
So, Cameron, how is your stress level these days? Are you feeling more stressed than usual? Are you feeling a little less stressed? Normal?
I'm feeling the same amount of stress I always have.
Yeah.
But I think I always have a lot of stress.
But, I mean, do you have a reason to stress out so much?
That's the thing. It's just my personality.
Right. You have anxiety, maybe.
Yeah. So even on like days off, when I don't have anything to do,
right,
somehow
you're stressed.
I'm able to fill it with so many things to do. Like, let's say, for example.
Okay, well, that's good.
Our work, we're freelancers.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have a lot of work, like voice work, radio work. Some days and weeks, it's a little freer.
Yeah.
Somehow, even on weeks when I work 2 days a week,
yeah,
the other days still feel like I'm so busy.
Really?
I'm cleaning the house.
Busy in your mind or busy just physically?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Both.
Okay.
I don't know. What about you? How are your stress levels recently?
Well, I have so much stress, things that can stress me out.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, I am okay.
Yeah, that is you.
That's me, right?
Your house could be on fire.
Yeah.
And you would be so cool as a cucumber. Just like so calm.
I should be so stressed, but I'm kind of like, oh, after a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, it's a new day.
This is manageable. I can do this. Very good.
Alrighty. So we're talking about stress because our topic here, I'm stressed out, please help. Okay? Get out of your head.
Yes.
Okay, who is inside your head and why do we say get out of your head?
So you yourself are inside your head.
Right.
And to get out of your head means to stop thinking so much, especially if you have a lot of worries. Like, stop worrying and just do something.
Right.
Focus your attention outside of your thoughts.
Got it. Okay, so get out of your head.
Yeah.
Self-care is a word that we hear a lot these days.
So this is talking about taking care of yourself, taking care of your body, taking care of your, mentally taking care of yourself. It's often about like wellness and well-being.
Right. And then finally, if something backfires on you, backfire
means you try to do something, but it ends up having the opposite result.
Yes.
Or it ends up hurting you in some way.
Okay, very good. So let's see how these expressions are used in our dialogue today.
Keith, how are you always so cheerful and relaxed, even when everyone else seems stressed out?
Well, I start each day with 10 minutes of meditation and around 15 minutes of yoga.
I suppose that helps you get out of your head.
Yes, it does. But it's also just a good form of self-care that's easy to do.
Any other suggestions? I want to try to practice as many helpful habits as I can.
That approach will backfire on you if you try to do too much at once.
Alrighty, so Rachel begins by saying, Keith, how are you always so cheerful and relaxed, even when everyone else seems stressed out? Okay, so wow, everybody's stressed. Why are you so okay?
Lucky Keith.
Yeah, and Keith says, well, I start each day with 10 minutes of meditation and around 15 minutes of yoga. Okay, so this seems to be very popular these days. I don't know about Korea, but in America, it seems like right now, everything's about meditation.
Yeah.
Everything's about yoga.
Gratitude journaling.
Sound bath. It's very woo-woo.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, what does Rachel say?
I suppose that helps you get out of your head.
Okay, so we've got our power pattern. I suppose.
Yes.
Now, when we can look up this word suppose and understand the meaning, but how is this used?
So this is similar to saying I think or I guess, but you're trying to make a little bit of a conclusion. I suppose blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
And the feeling in this case is she's going to make a statement and she wants Keith to confirm, say, yes, that's true, or no, that isn't true.
Okay. So Rachel is throwing it out there. I think that's what it is.
I think that's what it is. Is that right?
Yeah.
I suppose.
Right, I suppose. And then it helps you get out of your head.
Yeah.
This is an interesting expression, to get out of your head. So that means you're in your head?
Yes.
Okay.
If you're in your head, it means that you are thinking about something, but it's often something you're worried about.
Right.
So we say get out of your head, which basically means stop worrying, stop being afraid. I think a good way to explain this is like a professional baseball player.
Right.
So sometimes a professional baseball player will get in their head, and every time they have to go bat, they're scared or they're worried that they're going to strike out, and that actually makes them bat worse.
Yes.
Because their mentality is not right when they go up to bat to receive the pitch, right?
That's right.
So the coach might say, hey, get out of your head. Stop being stressed out. Stop worrying before you go and bat.
Right. It's almost like you're overthinking.
Yeah.
Because if you overthink, then you can, oh, wait a second, this could happen, or that could happen. Yeah, so it gives you more anxiety.
Yes.
It gives you more stress.
Yes.
So that's why we want to get out of our head. Okay, what does Keith say?
Yes, it does, but it's also just a good form of self-care that's easy to do.
Okay, so meditation, yoga, exercise, all of those things are a good form of self-care. So self-care is one word, but you've got the hyphen in the middle.
Yes.
Right? So self-care.
Self-care are the actions that provide some well-being, some wellness to you. So it is like, relaxing or getting enough sleep.
Yeah.
Brushing your teeth, exercising. These are all things that are just good for your body.
Yeah.
And everyone knows that they're good for your body and for your mind.
Right. And so I think that, basic self-care is like taking a shower.
Yeah.
Like you said, brush your teeth, or a nice hot bath. But I think whatever makes you feel relaxed and at ease is also part of self-care.
Right.
For me, having a nice cup of coffee or tea, green tea, and reading my favorite magazine.
Yeah.
That's like self-care for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of times it's like relaxation, that kind of luxury feeling.
Yeah.
You know, even like skincare would be under self-care.
Yes, masks.
Right.
Yeah,
But like you said, it can include exercise.
Yes.
The only difference is, like if you're doing yoga or, you know, even some running or some weightlifting.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe I might include that.
Yeah.
If you're running marathons, if you are a bodybuilder, that is no longer self-care. It's too intense, and the goal is beyond health.
That's right.
To like a certain like
It's
challenge.
performance.
Yeah, it's a performance. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point. So anything regarding self-care is something that will kind of calm you down, you know, give you that rest, give you that sort of calmness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or,
All right.
yeah, make you healthy, literally healthy in some way.
Okay, tell me one self-care.
One
Cameron,
self-care
for
that
you.
I do?
Yeah.
So one thing I do, I like to spend I have a massage machine.
Oh, yeah.
And so I spend 15 minutes with my
Oh,
little
very
massage
good.
machine at home.
Okay.
What about you?
Oh, I forgot about that. Light therapy. Red light therapy. That's my nightly routine.
Like the
20
mask
minutes.
you put on?
No,
with
it's
the
like
red
kind
light?
of a half body red light.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like a lizard. You're like an iguana in a with your heat lamp.
It's red light and near infrared light, so I do it on my back, which is really nice.
Wow,
okay.
nice.
All right. Rachel says, any other suggestions? I want to try to practice as many helpful habits as I can. So, suggestions.
Yes.
Okay.
So suggestions are ideas you give. Hey, try this.
Yeah.
I would say it is important to make the difference between suggestion and recommendation.
Yes. It's a little confusing.
So recommendation is a little stronger, more, hey, you should do this. This would be good. Suggestion is much lighter.
How about?
What about this?
Yeah.
Maybe this.
Right.
There is no kind of push behind a suggestion.
Very good. And finally, Keith says what?
That approach will backfire on you if you try to do too much at once.
Okay. So if something A backfires on B, which is the person, what does this mean, backfire?
It means you will get a result you don't want or just a result you didn't expect.
Yeah.
You're trying to take action to be healthier, but the action makes you sick.
Right.
That would be something that backfires.
So here, Rachel's like, oh, I want to do all these healthy, helpful habits. And Keith is saying, wait. If you do too much, that could be more stressful instead of relaxing.
Yes.
Okay. We'll give you more examples in just a bit. Let's go ahead and listen to that one more time.
Keith, how are you always so cheerful and relaxed, even when everyone else seems stressed out?
Well, I start each day with 10 minutes of meditation and around 15 minutes of yoga.
I suppose that helps you get out of your head.
Yes, it does. But it's also just a good form of self-care that's easy to do.
Any other suggestions? I want to try to practice as many helpful habits as I can.
That approach will backfire on you if you try to do too much at once.
It's time for Power Note. Let's do a quick review. Get out of one's head. It means to make an effort to stop thinking about your problems, right? So it's like you're overthinking your problems.
Yeah, you're thinking too much. And
too much.
It's often stopping you from doing something.
Yes. Okay. I wish I could figure out what I did wrong.
You need to get out of your head. Watch a silly comedy or go fishing or something.
Right. So if you stay in your head for too long, something's gonna go wrong. So that's why it's like, hurry, get out of your head.
Yes.
You need to get out of your head for a while or you'll never get over the breakup.
You break up with someone and you just constantly think about it and think about it and think about it. Sometimes you need to stop thinking about it.
But it's hard.
Oh, yeah.
It's so, especially the ones that like you really loved or like that was a really good person. It's very hard to get out of your head.
I totally understand. Well, I think in general, it can be hard to get out of your head.
Yeah.
That's why people like go on vacation.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in a different country,
Right.
often.
Or move to another country.
Like I did? Like you did?
Like I did?
We didn't get out of our head. We got out of our country.
That is so true. You and I both.
Yes.
Right? Oh, my gosh.
So there is a related phrase of to clear your head.
Yes.
Which just means to stop thinking about anything.
Right.
So to get out of your head is you're trying to perform an action. Like, let's say you're a gymnast. And you have to do all these flips.
Right.
But you're scared of doing the flips.
Yes.
That would be being in your head.
Right.
So the coach might try and find a way to get you out of your head.
Yeah.
So you can perform what you need to perform without any worries.
So as you can see from these examples, this expression is used in the professional sport world.
Yeah.
Because that sort of like mental state is very important when you're competing professionally.
Yeah.
Right?
Another place is acting.
Acting, yes.
I had in high school, my drama teacher, she and her husband were in a play together.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're husband and wife.
Right.
They kiss all the time.
Right.
They had to do a scene, a kissing scene.
Yeah.
And they couldn't do it. Even though at home, they're just a happy, loving couple and they kiss.
Yeah.
They were in their heads and they couldn't make the kiss look natural.
Oh, really?
Because they were having to do it on stage.
That is so funny.
So they had to get out of their head and to perform the scene. And that happens a lot in acting. They say, get out of your head. Stop thinking about it.
Right.
Just do it.
Just do it. All right. Self-care is when you do things where you are taking care of yourself for your well-being.
Yeah.
What is your self-care routine, Jenna?
Well, I give myself a facial every Saturday and I go to yoga class every morning.
So this expression self-care is often used with routine.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do regularly? Okay? Give yourself a little self-care anytime you feel overwhelmed with life.
Yeah.
Massage, facials, manicures.
Yes.
You know, I think those things are definitely a part of self-care.
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
I do think this word does tend to be used for that type of going to a spa sort of situation.
Right.
I've heard jokingly men talk about their self-care is like a can of beer or something. Like
pizza, chicken.
Pizza, yeah. But you know, self-care can be anything that just, it relaxes you and it makes you feel good. Like, to be honest, my dad, one of his ways of performing self-care is like going outside and working on like the yard.
Oh, yeah.
Mowing the lawn.
Yes.
Chopping wood.
Sure.
All of the fixing something.
Right.
He really likes to use being quiet. He doesn't listen to music. He doesn't talk.
Wow.
He just likes to be quiet and use his hands. And that is for him a way of self-care. To relax and get rid of all of his stress.
That's right. So it could be something physical. It could be something mental. Whatever works for you. I think everyone is a little different. If something backfires on you, it's kind of like you thought you were going to do this for this purpose.
Yeah.
And then it turned out the opposite.
Right.
It had a negative result.
Yes. Think of like a gun.
Yeah.
So this phrase comes from a gun.
Right.
When you try and shoot the bullet.
Yeah.
And instead of the bullet going out forward, it goes backward.
Yeah.
It backfires.
Right.
And the gun explodes.
And then you die.
Or injured in some way.
Or injured.
Yeah.
Did you ever call that girl you met on Friday?
Well, I tried the 3-day rule and it backfired on me. She met a new guy on Sunday.
So everyone, 3-day rule or 2-day rule, when you hear something like this, it means that when you meet someone, you wait 2 days or you wait 3 days before you call them.
Yeah. I don't think that exists in Korean culture.
Yeah.
Maybe it does, but in American culture, if you look like, oh, I want to date you.
Too eager.
It's too eager.
Right.
Yeah.
The plan to get reelected backfired and he ended up in jail instead.
Oh, no.
Ooh, bad plan. Okay. I suppose is our power pattern. Let's look at some sentences here. I suppose it's a shorter way to get there.
I suppose we can stop at the convenience store first.
Okay.
I reckon, this might be okay.
And you agree?
And you agree?
Okay, all right. Our power vocab today is suggestion.
Yes.
Okay, do check out the definition on page 42, and let's thank our sponsor.
한국토익위원회에서 취업과 승진을 위한